I can't fucking believe this shit right now, man. Are you fucking kidding me? This has been eating away at me all night when I was at work, and I can't believe it. This was one of the worst times for me to find out about this shit, because I had to hold it in, okay? I had to hold it in for the remainder of my shift. But I just gotta ask, what the fuck is Smogon thinking suspect testing Hoopa-Unbound? Oh my fucking god. Seriously. Now see, first off, I gotta give thanks where thanks is due. I want to thank all of you guys on Facebook and through Twitter and everything for informing me about this and be wanting me to do a video about this. And you're damn right I'm gonna deliver. And you know what? Rather than watching this shirtless idiot ramble at you guys, I'm gonna pull up the article, so let's do it! I am still trying to wrap my head around all of this! So, before I go completely insane here, let's get into the meat of the video, okay? Let's get into the juicy meat! So, I am on the Smogon forums, and we have the article for the suspect test of Hoopa-Unbound. Now see, this isn't the first time that I have disagreed with a suspect test. Now, I don't fully disagree with this, but for the most part, I do. This isn't the first time, though. First time, though, was when they suspect tested my beloved Mega Metagross. A lot of people were over-embellishing, saying, oh my god, it is so over-centralizing, it is so team-restricting building, it is all this, all that. It's like, look! Here's the thing. First off, the result justifies why it should stay. It didn't get banned. And it also justifies the fact that it's really not that broken. It's really not that powerful. Sure, it is very strong, especially when it's used correctly, such as by yours truly. But anyways, look. The thing is, it has access to tough claws, okay? That means that any contact moves such as Meteor Mash, Zen Headbutt, Bullet Punch, punches, all that stuff, it gets a 30% boost, but the thing is it has a lot of Pokemon that counter and check the thing. But anyways, we're talking about past grapes here. We're talking about past Easter Bunny baskets. But now, let's fast forward to Hoopa-Unbound. So you know what? I'm actually going to entertain you guys. Even more so than my rage. And I'm going to play devil's advocate here. I'm going to say why this thing should be banned. So, I've actually had a chance to pre-read this article here. Now, I'm not going to read everything verbatim here, but I'm going to read over some things here to show you guys what these people have been saying. So first off, let's start off with Hoopa-Unbound's offensive stats. Has base 160 attack, base 170 special attack. That is the equivalent of Mega Pokemon stats. Yeah, the thing is pretty damn powerful. The thing has such a diverse move pool. And the thing can also be more than capable of running physical sets, special sets, and mixed sets. I fucking love the mixed sets here. And what's even better about this is that it gets a very extremely powerful and spammable move known as Hyperspace Fury, which hits through both Protect and Substitute. Now, the thing about Hyperspace Fury is that it lowers its defense stat by 1 stage, so you gotta be wary of that. The thing has next to no safe switch-ins without taking a huge chunk of their HP. Even really bulky Pokemon, such as Assault Vest Tornado Syrian, such as Hippowdon, such as Mega Scizor, and, some other really fat Pokemon, Chansey even, they struggle taking hits from Hoopa-Unbound, especially given the fact that with the right moves, whether it be special or physical, and with the right coverage, those Pokemon are easy to hit KOs. They're easy to hit KOs. And there's no doubting in the fact that this thing doesn't have any solid counters to it. But the thing of it is that with the fact that this thing has no solid counters to it, Pokemon-wise, here's the thing. This thing almost always has to rely on a choiced item to be able to boost its base 80 speed, which is mediocre at best. And even still, you're losing out on the fact that not only do you lose the freedom to switch in between moves, but you're almost always going to need to switch out if you are at a disadvantage against your opponent. Like if you use a Psychic type move, and they bring in a Dark or a Steel type move, Pokemon to take it. They gotta switch out, and then that's when you can take advantage of the situation right then and there. Also, factor the fact that it has base 60 defense. That is garbage. I'm sorry to say, but that's fucking garbage. The thing with Dark and Psychic typing being a really bad defensive typing, really good offensively, but really bad defensively. It only has one immunity. One resistance, that being to Psychic, which is an immunity, thanks to its Dark typing. The thing has a 2 times weakness to Fairy type moves, and a 4 times weakness, okay? A 4 times weakness to Bug type moves. That means U-turn spam all the way. Even Pokemon that don't invest any attack, and they have U-turn, can very easily threaten Hoopa-Unbound. And the thing does not stack up well against hyper-offensive teams, especially given the fact that it's got base 80 speed. Here's the thing. Even with a Choice Scarf, you still are very susceptible to really strong priority moves, such as Extreme Speed from, say, a Banded Dragonite, Talonflame's Brave Bird, Sucker Punch from a Bisharp, for example, and also other Scarf Pokemon such as Landorus and Garchomp, which both carry very powerful and threatening moves to take out Hoopa-Unbound. The thing is that it doesn't have Pokemon that can counter it, but playstyles. Hyper-offensive completely counters, in my opinion, Hoopa-Unbound. It almost always has to rely on the opponent bringing a semi-stall or a balance team, which doesn't always rely on speed and relies more on being tanks and slow, then that's when Hoopa-Unbound can in fact be a very potent destroyer. But if it's against a hyper-offensive team, Hoopa-Unbound is going to have a very, very difficult time in that battle. And although the thing can, in fact, have a very, very threatening presence, here's the thing. Hoopa-Unbound has a very tough time switching in safely without eating up a hit that is going to be severely damaging and maybe even game-threatening to it, meaning that it folds before it even has a chance to act in the battle. Some can argue that it's impossible to switch a Pokemon in on Hoopa-Unbound's attacks and, survive it or take little damage from it, because even if it's resisted, the thing can pack some really mighty power. You gotta think about the other end, too, where you're trying to switch Hoopa-Unbound in safely, and that might not always work out. Now, mind you, the thing does have base 130 special defense, but the thing still gets worn down by Life Orb recoil, hazards, and it gets demolished by faster Scarf Pokemon and really strong physical attacks, as I've said. Now, this isn't the first time that Hoopa-Unbound has been suspect tested. It's been suspect tested under the metagame of Monotype on Smogon, and it lost, meaning that it didn't get banned. And Monotype is a really interesting tier because it's a more restrictive tier where you are only allowed to build around one primary type. So, if it didn't get banned in Monotype, which is more restrictive, then why the hell should it be even banned in OU? Like I said, it's not the fact that this thing has a lot of really, really powerful moves and a lot of physical attacks that, should be the main problem of Hoopa-Unbound. It's the fact that this thing, it can be dealt with, okay? It can be dealt with. Any good, strong priority moves that are physical, U-turn, U-turn, and almost every team carries U-turn. The thing also suffers severely from going against any hyper-offensive teams which run a lot of speed and a lot of power, So, let's go ahead and read down here a little bit. Although Hoopa has plenty of huge advantages, it has some fatal flaws, such as a poor speed for a Pokemon with such frailty on the physical end, thus making it highly susceptible to common priority users and many fast physical attackers. And it also mentions the U-turn weakness, and it's pretty much also a way to force Hoopa out, which means that, again, the advantage is in your court. So regardless of how you look at it, whether you think that Hoopa-Unbound is a problem or not, you also got to think of all elements of the fact that when you are against a Hoopa and you have U-turn and you know you're faster than it, the thing either has to stay in and take a hit and go down and fold, or it has to switch out, and then that's when you get the U-turn, boom, and that puts you in an advantage because you can switch in a Pokemon to counter that switch in for Hoopa-Unbound, and there you go. It's like, it all comes down to prediction, it all comes down to making right plays and all that good stuff, and the way I see it is, at the end of the day, you know, is any Pokemon really invincible? You know? I mean, we take a look at Greninja, which is also, you could say that it is similar, you could say, to Hoopa-Unbound. It's a very, very threatening Pokemon with really good offenses and a really killer ability. And it has a very deep move pool to take advantage of. But the thing's a glass cannon and all that good stuff. But for Greninja, it's like it's a little more understandable. Although I didn't like that ban either, because Greninja is my favorite fucking starter. You know what I mean? But I'll actually be making a video about Greninja later on. Well, maybe. I just gotta think of some material here. But getting back on topic here. So, with Hoopa-Unbound, man, oh man, I have built a team around Hoopa-Unbound, and the thing, like I said, is not invincible. I mean, yeah, sure, you have the ability to build a team to counter Hoopa's weaknesses, but that doesn't mean that Hoopa-Unbound is invincible. And also, Hoopa-Unbound doesn't restrict team building either. I mean, I've come across battles where I haven't seen Hoopa-Unbound, and, you know, even if I did, it's like, okay, you know, Hoopa-Unbound, like, that's all good, you know, good stuff. I got to think ahead a little bit, think about what I need to do here. So let's go ahead and scroll down here a little bit. Yeah, you're required to make respectful posts. No suspect test. Okay. So that's pretty much all I got to say about the overall suspect test. Now, something that I have a little bit of an issue with. This, by the way, I don't mean to come off as, you know, either being harsh or, you know, to spread hate. Here's the thing. Smogon's not perfect, but I love Smogon. Smogon's a great community, and I will happily defend Smogon whenever the need to do so. But I find that for suspect tests, especially of certain Pokemon, there's a really obnoxious trend that happens there, and that's the bandwagoning effect. And what I mean by that is that if a person does not like a Pokemon and they want it gone, they will over-embellish the strengths of the Pokemon, making it seem even more powerful than what it actually is. And they'll get people to agree, and people will start bandwagoning that person, be like, yeah, you know, let's go ahead, fuck this Pokemon, let's ban it. And I'm just like, okay, well, you know what, you're free to do and say as you wish, but I think that when it comes to something as serious as this, you should consider all elements and all aspects, and you should think for yourself, do you really want this thing banned or do you not? Like, you know, just really think about what you're saying and what you're doing, because that one decision from that one person could, in fact, make and break the difference in the suspect test. You know what I mean? So, with my overall opinion on all this, here's the big question. Do I think Hoopa-Unbound should be banned, or should it stay? I think it should fucking stay. Because, for one, I built a team around Hoopa-Unbound. I'm very damn proud of it. But aside from that, the thing, although it may not have any good, reliable counters one-on-one to be able to switch into Hoopa-Unbound safely and eat up hits and keep on repeatedly taking hits, the thing has a lot of checks, such as faster Pokemon, hyper-offensive teams, the fact that it can very easily be taken advantage of with its base 60 defense. So that means that Pokemon such as Tyranitar, which is ultimately a very, very good Pokemon to use anyways, Scarf Tyranitar with Pursuit. Boom. That's it. Done. Any strong priority users, as I said, such as Gale Wings Brave Bird, such as Sucker Punch from a Bisharp, or any good other Sucker Punch users. You also got Pokemon that have good priority moves, such as Bullet Punch from Technician Mega Scizor, as well as regular Scizor with Life Orb or Choice Band, Bullet Punch from a Mega Metagross. There's a lot of possibilities that we need to factor in all together. Yes, I am aware of the fact that this thing is very, very overwhelming and very powerful, but there's just one thing. There's one thing. Still doesn't justify the fact that I do not want to have my Pokemon, my dear Hoopa, sent into the fucking Shadow Realm of the Uber's tier where it is never ever seen again. I mean, here's the thing. Greninja was a very, very, very threatening Pokemon. No, he was very good. It was very good, but it wasn't over-centralizing and team restricting. Here's the thing. Now, what has Greninja been reduced to in the Ubers tier? It has been reduced to a mediocre at best Toxic Spike's Suicide Lead. And I say mediocre at best because it's not a fast Pokemon in the Ubers tier. I mean, baseball 122 speed, yeah, that's pretty good, but you got Deoxys. You got Arceus that can pick it apart with extreme speed. It just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense anymore. So, oh my god. This doesn't change the fact that Hoopa-Unbound is very powerful and very threatening, and you really, really need to prepare for it. But I just don't want to see Hoopa-Unbound go. I don't want to see it fucking go, man. I don't want to see it go! Do you guys want to see it go? I want to know if you want to see it go. But seriously, end this video right here. If you guys enjoyed this video, then please feel free to fire off a like. And also, I want this video to spark up some discussion. I want to know how you guys feel about this. Do you guys think that Smogon was right about suspect testing Hoopa-Unbound? And if so, do you think that this thing should be banned or not banned? Let me know in the comments section down below. And also, don't forget to rate, comment, share this channel, share this video, and subscribe today to Mega Crash of the community, because you already know the deal by now, my friends. When we are a community, tightly packed and tightly knit as one. Oh, baby, you know that we shine brighter than the sun and the moon combined. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next upload. Woohoo! Hashtag save Hoopa-Unbound.